All right, I think we're live. How you guys doing? Yep, we're live. All right, if you can hear me, I'll get acclimated here for a moment. I do not have an active chat going. I didn't have one last time either. It was mostly hollering at people on Discord. I'm going to get something set up to where you can do that. For now, you can leave your comments in the video when it posts. It's about the best I can do for now. But anyway, I was going to show you some of the stuff that I was digging through my closet and I found that I actually had on my wall when I was 14. This stuff right here, I remember this right here. I bought this with an issue of Dragon magazine. Um, I guess Mercer Mall. It was the Gangsters of the Underdark. I've got the PDF online. I found it, but that was the front of the cover. But they had included, they had pushed a lot of Forgotten Realms stuff with TSR right before they had sold the Wizards. Forgotten Realms has always been bigger. I guess it's the premier D&D setting as opposed to Dragonlance. I wasn't much for Forgotten Realms, but like I said, I still have an appreciation of it. It's just I didn't really grow up learning much about it. But this thing is really, really nice. This was, the whole thing with Volo and Eleminster and Drizzt. Um, and this big old map. Like, holy shit. But, and then, yeah, they got this introductory thing from the, where is it? Well, you open it up, and it's got this guy right here. I need to turn on the overhead light here in a minute, but it says Orlando of Candlekeep. It's got a timeline, and if it, well, let me keep it. I'll keep it on the table so you can see it, but it's got a timeline of events that happen in the Forgotten Realms universe. It's got the TSR logo right there, as you see. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. And this is the entire 1996 Forgotten Realms product tree. So I got that in 1996. So it was an issue of Dragon magazine published in 96. Gangsters of the Underdark. That was what this come out of. I had bought that and the book for Istrad at Mercer Mall. Jeez. Ooh, I got a goodie for you. Now, it's not Dragonlance, but it's cool all the same. I picked up a whole bunch of stuff here, guys. This is the stuff that used to hang up on my walls. Shit's vintage. Now, the Data East logo is missing from it. I'm not sure why. I think it's because I had it fitted in with another poster. This came with the Super Nintendo game for Shadowrun. Oh, and I also have my game boxes and, well, not the manual. I've got the manual, but the game boxes for most of my games like Shadowrun in impeccable condition. I've still got the game. For some of those, I've still got the box and the manual, but not the game because some asshole ran off with them. Like Doom, there's a box for that, and the manual. Say, this is Shadowrun. This was released by Data East in 1992. And yeah, pretty damn cool. That was on my wall for a long time. I'll probably frame it and put it back up eventually. Okay, let me show you some of these. Oh, here you go. Here's one. Nice little piece of memorabilia. It's N64. Yep, Bowser. Yeah, it was when it first come out. It was an ad for Nintendo Power. Yep. I've got just as much shit as James Rolfe does, buddy. Probably not as many Nintendo games as he's got, but yeah, look at that. Elminster riding a dragon. Now I'm gonna put these back up on my wall. These were part of a calendar. Fell apart, but yeah, there's a calendar. This one says Dragon Magazine, so this may have come with it as well. That's what it says right there. Awesome. Yes. That's a little scuffed or whatever. But you recognize that? That's Sigil. That is Sigil. Now, basically, you're going uphill. It's a wheel and a hub, and there's peak and anti-peak. But that's what Sigil looks like walking down a street. It's an awesome painting. Now, it's a little bit scuffed, but that actually makes it a little bit more authentic in my taste. This would be beautiful to go ahead and frame and mount on a wall. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. Like I said, I've kept these for about 25 years, so done pretty good. They got a little bit of stickum still on them. This is some kind of advertisement for Mystara, Night of the Vampire. I don't know what happened to the rest of them. I'd have to look. It's probably still in a box somewhere. I'm pretty sure I didn't completely get rid of it. I just got to find it. Let's see here. This one here, that's Jeff Easley. That's an Easley. That's an Easley. Yep, that's an Easley. That's an Easley, baby. That's an awesome fucking picture. See, in most cases, some people argue that that cover should have been the one that they had on the original Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook. You think that would have worked? That right there? A different Player's Handbook? That would have been fucking awesome, okay? It would have still been awesome. That would have made it completely awesome. Look at that. The sword and everything. I mean, who's to say that you creative types couldn't print you out a PDF copy of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition, purchase through drive-through, and alternate your covers with this thing? Slap the logo in, bada bada bam. See, I print my PDF books, and we're going to see some of those tonight, y'all. I guarantee you that. I got all kinds of stuff to show you. It's going to be a treat, y'all. I guarantee you. All right. Let's see what we got. Dragons of Summer Flame. Now, the thing about this is, the best part of this picture is cut off because Tasselhoff is over in the background with, what's her face? Oh, shit. Raislin's daughter. I forget her damn name. I feel like an asshole now. But anyway, hey, I've read all the Dragonlance books up to Dragons of Summer Flame, and anything other than that is optional. And I've read a ton of comic books and other books that they published under the Dragonlance, all the Kindermore, Wanderlust, all those good freaking Dragonlance books. Let me tell you something. This right here was one of the best damn Dragonlance books that was ever published. Kindermore. I got to follow up to this. My gaming material, I got to follow up to this. This was one of the best damn Dragonlance books. That logo right there, I love looking at that logo, that TSR logo. That looks so damned pristine. But yeah, this was Kindermore by Mary Kirchhoff. And I think Steve Winter might have helped with this one. I don't remember. But yeah, it's cover art, and this was done by Jeff Easley. Yeah, this had cover art by Jeff Easley. Sure as shit did. But see, these were the preludes. These were the good Dragonlance books. This was the Dragonlance that I was exposed to. Okay. Oh, something else I need to discuss with you guys. Some of you all, please don't trash the 5th edition, people. Okay. You have to understand that Dragonlance, yes, it was a collaborative group effort, and there were many people who worked on Dragonlance. And you have to realize that there are a lot of people who were exposed to Dragonlance from a certain era. There were people from the 1st edition era, the D&D era, that didn't particularly care for the 2nd edition era. I was not around for the 1st edition era. I wasn't old enough. Dragonlance, I think Legends was published in 86. I was 3 years old, okay? I wasn't even old enough. I picked these up when I was 12, okay? These and the 3 comic books, the 3 graphic novels were what I was exposed to, okay? Margaret and Tracy didn't necessarily write those, and most of the 92 material, that the TSR role-play material, they didn't write. But, like I said, it all is in perspective of what you're exposed to, okay? So, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong or right, what canon that you ascribe to. Okay, because there's several different lines of the Dragonlance. You've got the original Dragonlance. You've got Dragonlance 5th Age. You've got the War of Souls. You've got the alternate Dragonlance that was written, the stuff that happens in between the Chronicles books, which I've read some of. I didn't get a chance to. It's been a couple of years. And then you've got the 200 plus Dragonlance books that have been written. Then you've got all the modules. And trust me, the modules, buddy. Well, I'll show you some of these modules and tell you how wildly they deviate from the damn books. And some of them were written in 1992, which was after Margaret and Tracy had left the company. So they really didn't have any control over it. You know, they just went with it. Of course, by Dragons of Summer Flame, I get the idea that where they had tried to shoehorn those damn kids in, they said, well, hell, we didn't say that they had any kids, so they killed a couple of them off, so they only had Palin to have to deal with. Palin and Steele, which is Kitty Yara's kid. That's the one that she had with Stone. Oh, yes. Look, okay, that's been known for 25 years. If you ain't figured that one out yet, don't, okay? Yes, she had a kid with Stone. And supposedly they went to the moon together in the prelude. Some kind of shit like that. This is some kind of card that come out of Wizard magazine. Got a bunch of stickum on the back of it, but that's kind of cool. All right, let's see. What else we got here? Yep. Oh! Ding, dong, dong, ding. See, this shit's definitely able to be put on the wall. It's absolutely wonderful. Look at this shit. You can frame that shit. Now, I just need to find some picture frames of the size to be able to put in. But the problem is picture frames are expensive. Good God. It cost me more to get the frames for my fucking Elmore prints than it did to buy the damn print. Larry Elmore's a good dude. He surely is. And those Elmores are signed. He sure did. He's still alive, so he signed those. Easley's not. Easley, I believe, has passed away, so he is no longer around. If you've got a signed Easley, buddy, that'd be worth something. Sure would. I don't have any like that. I have one Easley up on my wall, and that's the one of Dragons of Flame, but it's got the Wizards of the Coast thing on it. Like I said, guys, I don't have a hard-on for Wizards of the Coast. I don't give a shit. You know, I just wish that they would produce a product that was actually worth my time and money if I was going to buy anything. I bought most of this stuff 25 years ago, guys. I've had it for that damn long. I've got my books. I've got my imagination. And anything beyond that, we really don't fucking need. Okay? You've got 25, 30 years of stuff here, guys. Tons of stuff. They cannot publish or touch anything again, and you've still got tons and tons and tons of treasures waiting to be discovered. It's just absolutely wonderful. I'm telling you. You sound like a salesman here. No, I bought all my shit at retail 30 fucking years ago, and it's not for sale. I'll tell you that right now. I got tons of stuff here, guys. Let's see here. What else I got here? We're going to do a whole show and tell tonight. We'll hang out, have a good old time. All right. What I got here? Oh, here we go. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and clear off the table here. Give me a second. I don't move as fast as I want to. I'm standing somewhat and walking. Can you see me? Hey, guys. All right. I'm standing somewhat and walking. Let me clear the table a little bit. Let's set these over here so we don't fuck them up. Was that all of them? Yeah. We'll put these back, I guess, over near my printer. Someplace. I don't know. Don't need to be my printer. I'll just set them here on the shelf. At least keep them safe for a few minutes. Oh, right. Please don't fall. That'll be all right. All right, guys. Let's see here. What else I got here? I pulled out my Dragonlance thing and showed it to you last time. I think I showed you the two other ones, his Old Glory. I showed you that last stream. I'm looking here to see what else I can show you. I got all kinds of shit, guys. I got so much stuff here for Dragonlance, it ain't funny. I got Dragonlance. I got Shadowrun. I got 3.5. I got Dragonlance, I got Shadowrun, I got 3.5. Hope you can hear me. All right, we're going to move our table around here. I'm hoping this will be okay. Yeah, we'll just move this over just a second. Actually, I need that. I'll get organized here in a minute, guys. I'll pull my head out of my ass. Maybe. You think? Nah, I won't. You know me. I'm just like a kinder. I'm all over the fucking place. What's going on here? The Master Duke, like you're doing. Okay, whatever. Oh, I'm getting Xbox alerts. Oh, fucking great. Oh. All right, let's see here. We got Lance Dungeons Dragons, Ravenloft, da. Move my shit over here just a second. I guess I could stick that back on the shelf. I showed you the Dungeons and Dragons rule cyclopedia I've been coloring in. I had a little bit of a scare today, guys. I'm going blind, so my cataracts are pretty rough. With that said, sometimes my vision fogs up, and it's kind of scary. I've got to get some cataract surgery soon. Problem is, with my autoimmune and the inflammation, it's been somewhat give or take. If they botch that or it doesn't take, I'm pretty much blind for the rest of my life. Now, if that's the case, this shit goes bye-bye because I can't really read it or use it unless I get one of those little things that they got technology now for blind people. It's like a pen, and they can read, and it'll actually scan. You can read a book, and it'll actually audibly read it to you. There's all kinds of stuff that blind people use now. But I want to try to keep my eyesight, but it's going to need to be repaired or done something. That steroid, buddy, it fucked me up. I smoke copious amounts of reefer, and I don't deny it because, one, I need it. It helps keep me alive. I'm going through, basically, that Remicade is a lot like chemo, and it's pretty rough. So the fact that I'm even walking at all is a damn miracle. Okay, guys, let me see what all we got here. I got so much shit here. We're going to have so much of a show and tell tonight. Hold on just a second. Let me. All right, let's see here. Hey, there it is. Get that out. Ravenloft from Black Roses Bloom. Now, I'm kind of hesitant to handle it right now because I need to put it in a book form, but, well, anyway, they got some Dragons of Flame. I'll go ahead and pull that out. Wizard's Challenge, we'll go ahead and put that up. We don't need that tonight. We don't need none of that. These I'll save for another stream. I'm not going to do everything tonight. Good grief. Oh, shit. I'm mumbling, guys. Hold on just a second. Let me get my shit together. I got all kinds of shit here to talk about. Here it is. Dragons of Despair. We got the Tales of the Lance, World Book of Ancelon, 4th edition. Okay, what else we need here? I wonder if I shift this light source. Would it help? I honestly don't know. When I shift the light source, does it help, guys? I don't know. I'm trying to look on the computer screen, and I don't know if everything's washed out. Freaking ant in here. Great. I got ants. You can tell weather's warming up. The bugs are coming in. Got them damn stink bugs. All right, guys. I think that'll work. Fuck it. It'll work. It'll do for what the hell I need anyway. Okay, let me set this other shit over here out of my way so I don't get mixed up or lost or screwed up. I think I'm gonna pack me a bowl on that, but I don't know if I'm supposed to start for a long. Well, perfect leather back. I won't do that on live stream. You're not supposed to, not on YouTube. Which is not a problem. No big deal. You do it on Twitch. I don't honestly know. I guess you can smoke weed on it. I don't care. I don't know. I'm not going to on the stream, but if you hear a bubbling in the background, guys, that's what it is. I'm not going to lie, but I'm a medical marijuana patient, so. But like I said, if anybody wants to use some of this for general purpose or something, you know, I'll try to watch my language, and I'll refrain from using any illicit substances on screen, at least for these streams. I'll try to keep it PG-13, okay, especially when I'm discussing this stuff. I realize some of you, you know, have kids or something that you're trying to teach, so I'm more than happy to, you know, give a small bare bones thing to it, and we'll see what comes of it. I got to kind of revert back to my old days at Wolf Creek, and I remember, you know, teaching elementary school kids, so you had to watch your language, and I wasn't as surly then as I am now. Let's put it that way. Life and experience and age has kind of made me a little bit more of a cantankerous old fart. You know, I'm a little bit more outspoken with my opinions because I don't have a boss to have to answer to now. I don't do political shit. Forget it. No. I don't talk politics. Screw it. I couldn't even tell you who's running right now. I'm apolitical. I'm not alt-right. I can tell you that right now. Now, like I said, I can give anybody 2%. Okay, even if that person's a complete asshole, if they like RPGs or they like Dragonlance, we've got something in common. Anything other than that, you know, hey, I don't have to go home with them. They don't live in my house. They don't eat at my table. They don't shit in my bathroom. So it's really not a threat to me. All right. Hold on just a second here, guys, and we'll get it rolling. I checked my stream the other day, and it seemed to be doing pretty good. It wasn't too bad. I couldn't really do anything yesterday. I came back. I felt kind of yucky. I did not want to get on stream sounding like that, so I hemmed and hawed about getting on stream last night, and I wanted to make sure that I had all my shit together before I did so. Because if I didn't, I was going to make an ass out of myself, and I figured, well, no, if I'm going to do this, I want to do this to at least to some competency where you can watch this stream and get a little bit of enjoyment out of it. Now, you might have to use headphones because, like I said, I don't know, some people say that I talk so fucking loud that it hurts their ears. So I do apologize. Some people say it's better if it's muffled. And then, of course, you have my accent. I have a very heavy Southwest Virginia accent. That's where I'm from. Good grief, I sit right on the border between Virginia and West Virginia. I had a public persona. No, I did not go by the name Injun Joe. Injun Joe is just the name of my channel, guys. I don't bang on a gong and I don't bark at the moon. Do I consider myself native? Yes. Do I know what type? No. What kind of native are you? How much native are you? Blood quantum? How much native are you? Head, your foot? You are, you're not. To that question, what does it mean to me now? I honestly don't know. I'm lucky to be alive. When I got sick, everything about me completely changed. I mean, I had so many fucking questions as to, you know, why the hell is what happening to me as to why it's happening. You know, I must have a screwy ancestor somewhere because nobody else would have this much of a screwed up health configuration. But anyways, guys, I'm not going to bore you to tears. We're going to have a good Dragonlance stream tonight. Okay. All right. AD&D stream. Hey, ready to rock and roll. Okay. Let me get a little bit of the imbibement of the silly salad so I can get my mind to working here. And I might need to get me some. No, I've got some water. I got some water. Okay. Good deal. And a little bit of tea, too. All right. As long as the moths don't fly in it. Man, I swear to God, I don't dare set a glass of tea near my light because them fucking moths will fly in and they'll kamikaze and land right in the damn thing. I went to take a drink one night and it was in a straw. Little son of a bitch had been floating in there and it went right up the damn straw. I spit that damn thing out in the trash can. It was gross. Pulled it off. It had been dead a while. Hey, I got something for you. Yeah. Let me show you my dragon orb. I got one. Let me not knock my fucking camera over. See, this is a delicate operation. I got to do this without knocking my fucking camera over. That camera's like hair trigger, man. The tripod on it is so damn sensitive. I can lightly tap it and the son of a bitch will fall over into the fucking floor. It's like weight conscious. So I can't fuck with it. I just leave it alone and I don't go anywhere near it. I try not to hit the cord or anything. Fucking webcams, man. It's a good webcam though, so far. It ain't too bad. It does for what I need it to do. Alright. Let me get this thing reassembled and I'll set it down here. Yeah. This is fucking sweet. Look at this. Watch this. Hold on. Let me get the stupid stand assembled. This thing. You like little toys and gadgets, don't you? Maggie would like this. I shouldn't call her Maggie. I don't know her that well. You don't call somebody a pet name, especially if you don't know them. They might not like that. My grandmother's name was Margaret Imhoff, so they called her Maggie. What is this? What is this plugged into? This is the light. Okay. All right. Now like this. I'm not gonna plug it in the computer because when I do, it screws with the power shit on my damn computer, so I don't do that. My computer's got enough damn problems as it is. So laptop's right, it's getting up there. I like that. Wait a minute. See if I tilt the camera up a little bit. Hold on. I got you. Hold on. Hey. What do you think of that? That's my dragon orb. If I could figure out how to do a we'll be right back thing, like when I'd go to commercial, I would put that on there. That's kind of cool, ain't it? Oh, I'm pretty sure there's streamers that got the damn things on there. Oh, do you want to make it look like a dragon orb? Wait a minute. There's your dragon orb. It's green. I guess it's green. It's supposed to be dark green. I don't know what it picks up on camera, to be honest. My ass is going blind. It's hard to say. In all freaking honesty. There you go. Look at that. Does a strobe effect. I like the thing where it just pulses. Where it does that slow fade. Actually, there's the fade right there. And you can just select a color on it. And say, I could pop it to dark green and it looks exactly like a damn dragon orb. Now you talk about some ambience right there. The regular setting for it, which is just the white light, see? And now it actually looks like stars and planets and shit. I don't know how well it comes in on the camera. You might be able to see it. You might not. I don't know. But that's what it looks like. Let me turn that light back on. It might just be a contrast to the camera, but who knows? We ain't going to worry about it too damn much. I mean, is it that big of a deal? It's just something nice to show. But you can dim it. You can like brighten it like that. See? So I can dim it. There you go. See? You see the color a little bit better when I dim it. Okay. Alrighty. We'll turn that off. Unplug it. That's my dragon orb. Alright. What we want to do here. Yeah, I would leave it plugged in, but that's distracting, and I got too much shit plugged up anyway. I don't want to trip over it. In all honesty, I just don't want to trip over it. That's what'll fucking happen. I'm not tripping over the damn thing. Of course, I know it might go over next to the damn... It's light enough. I could probably put it over next to the TV later. That would work. Put the remote up. Okay. Alright, guys. Enough fucking dicking around here. Sit down. Getting cotton mouth. That's what happens when you smoke weed. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm in my bathroom slippers. I'm in my dude mode, man. I'm wearing a bathrobe. I got my beard rolling. I got my pot smoking. I am in dude mode. Okay? I'm Jeff Bridges, Big Lebowski. I'd rather not get my head shoved in the toilet. Thank you. Get banged by, get blown by a gorgeous redhead rich chick, weird. Sure. But don't get the shit beat out of me. Jeff Bridges gets the shit beat out of him in the Big Lebowski. The movie's kind of terrifying, really. It's definitely a California movie, though. It is. It reminds me of 98. I went out there, or not 98. 2008. I went out there. What? Some of it are not supposed to be on cam. Boom. Okay. What are we doing here? Let's see here. Okay. All right. Take a look at this. Got here. Mist of Kryn. I showed y'all this one probably on a Twitch stream. I'd read from it. Let's talk about Kinder Pack. That Kinder Pack is like a sweet bread. It's like Limbus bread. But in the game, Taz used to make a joke that humans, Kinder can eat it, but a human's not supposed to eat a lot of that shit because it will make you constipated. It'll stop them up. You know, Kerman found that out when he ate a little bit too much of it. He was constipated for days. That's pretty funny. Kinder Pack. Yeah. All right. I got some new characters I'm going to introduce later. I got a whole big thing I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to read it out and all this shit. But I'm going to show you just some mustache here. Boot heel. Okay. I've actually got the, I did a PDF version, and I also ordered the print version. My version looks a lot better than the one that I ordered from drive-thru. But I haven't really sat down and play it. I still got to get the damn, but I print out the maps and shit like that. You know, it's got mechanics in it for gunfighting. shit like that as far as 1800 stuff. And that's why I have it. My idea for Kryn 1876. Steampunk Dragonlance. Noms and Kinder become advanced in civilization. Okay? They saved the world, actually, but you'll see. It's an idea I'm tooling around with. Dragonlance Elf Worlds. Fuck it. If they can do all that other shit with Dragonlance, I can do something with Dragonlance. I love Dragonlance. I honestly do. This is World of Kryn. Yep. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, World of Kryn. The way I did these, okay, they're cardstock that are laminated. They had a binder put to them. Now, the binders themselves were actually made from a piece of cardboard bag, or not cardboard bag, but a paper bag, brown paper bag. You cut them into strips, okay, and then you have to paint it. Now, when you paint it, it acts as sort of a glue and a lacquer, and you put the glue underneath, and then when you put it in a vise, you clamp it down on it, and it will actually bind and hold. And to an extent, for some of these, they'll take and actually run a string down it, and they saw a piece into it and lay the string in, because the idea is that when it's glued, the pages affix to it, and hence, that's how a bound book works. You have to actually thread it through on a certain part of that binding. And see, this one is actually bound. My mother did most of the binding on it. I did the printing, and I assembled it, got the cardstock out, made sure the gauge and everything was right, and then she went ahead and helped me put the binder on it. She painted them up, and she fixed the binder to it. Bless her heart. I got her to laminate some of these. The laminate actually did well on this one. Did really good on this one. The other ones, the Main of Dread and some of the other ones, the laminate didn't do so well. I don't know why. I guess it's just with our approach. This is a cardstock map of the Floating Tomb. The Floating Tomb from Dragons of Desolation, I do believe. I think that's what that is. Yeah, that's the Floating Tomb from Dragons of Desolation. I guess I need to turn an overhead light on. Enough of this dicking around in the fucking dark. I'm sorry, guys. Let me get a damn light so you can see. No sense in this. It's bad enough it sounds like I'm sitting, somebody's sitting on the microphone. I got it stuffed up already. Well, keep it PG-13, man. Keep it PG-13, man. I got kids watching, man. Good grief. If you got kids watching my stream, boy, you better re-educate them youngins for a little bit. They look too young for me. I ain't your role model. And ain't no freaking halo hanging over my head. And if there was, it'd be a toilet seat. I'm just yapping you. No, I'm a nice person. So somebody pisses me off. No. Anyway, let's see here. Cardstock map. That's Zaxxaroth. That's the opening temple. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is the opening temple to Zaxxaroth. That is basically a large waterfall. It just goes off into a sea. Okay. That temple was sunk. So it's got a marshy swamp, all that shit. They go in there. That's Dragons of Autumn Twilight. That was from, I think, the 3.5 module. That's what I got that one off of. This is the Wilderness map for, well, it's at least a legible one. I'm guessing for Dragons of Despair. It'll work anyway. Points out Zaxxaroth. Okay, as you can see, right there. I can put it under the glass if I wanted to. I might do that here in a little bit. We're still showing some books off. Hold on just a little bit. We'll see what we can do. All right. Keep that. Okay, guys. Here's where the controversy starts. First off, let's go ahead and this is very important, okay? So please pay attention. All right. We have New Tales. I guess you can say it. Published in 1992. This thing, of course, is a TSR published Dragonlance gaming supplement. It is not really endorsed by Margaret or Tracy because they had left the company by the time this damn thing was published. They didn't have any input on it, okay? Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong because, anyway, Margaret don't give a rat's ass. She wrote the books, okay? She didn't do gaming materials. They played the game in itself a total of 2 times before they wrote the novels. And it was, they didn't have time to. Good grief, you know, they were working. They were working at TSR. They were employees, you know. Margaret Weiss did a whole bunch of books. She did the Choose Your Own Adventure books. That woman has done a lot of books. The Deathgate Cycle. And she wasn't even working for TSR then. So, I'm not going to tell the lady how to write a fucking book, okay? You don't tell Margaret Weiss how to write her damn books, okay? If she says something's in there, it's not in there, I'll take her fucking word for it, okay? I don't mess with Maggie, okay? All right. But anyways, New Tales. In New Tales, okay, they list Hasselhoff, and they also do this for the Dragonlance Tales of the Lance box set, okay? You guys have to remember that when the Dragonlance books were released, the Dragonlance setting in itself had the modules, but when the books came out, they really didn't have anything for second edition, okay? That's where the Tales of the Lance box set, which was also released with the modules, where they released them in Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3, okay? They were all the packaged modules. They released them later. But the Tales of the Lance box set, which this World Book Ansalon came out of, as you can see, that was in 92, all right? This shit is not necessarily consistent with the chronicles and the legends that Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman wrote. Case in point, here comes the big boo-boo, the big elephant in the room, the big controversy. No, it's not. Bullshit. Ain't a big deal. It doesn't really bother me, I'll tell you that right now. Because as far as I'm concerned in gaming materials, Hasselhoff picked his own name, okay? I've got a story about that, but as far as Kalen, it was probably a grandfather, okay? It was just a name of a paternal grandfather, and they pick it for him when they're born, but that's not the name that he picked for himself, okay? Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, they never named him Kalen. They never intended to name him Kalen, or Colin, or whatever you want to call him, okay? This is the Tales of the Lance box set, okay? It's the second edition one. It's a really good one, all right? Now, I've worn the shit out of this damn thing. It's still intact after 25 years. However, this in itself, this was the gaming material, okay? Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman had already left by 1992, okay? They had just gone on to write other books. They still had some input, you know. They talked to people that were on the TSR team or whatever. But like I said, they had moved on. They had their own careers. Margaret Weiss had moved on from it, okay? She didn't have any input on the gaming stuff, you know. The gaming stuff was a different critter. I'm not real sure who wrote it. I mean, the Preludes, that stuff was written during that era. It could have very well been Steve Winter who came up with it. Harold Johnson says that he didn't come up with it, according to the encyclopedia. I don't know. I'm not going to quote Harold Johnson on that. Margaret Weiss was quoted on the encyclopedia saying that. Like I said, you'd have to ask her. But I do know, I asked her on Facebook, and she said, no, we did not fucking name him Kalen. Okay? We didn't write this. It wasn't us. We did not name him Colin. It was not they who named him Colin. Where's it at? Oh, right. Let me guess. I lost the character card again, probably. Or I've stuffed it in something. There he is. There he is. Elephant in the room. All right, take a look. These character cards are so cool. Of course, I don't know about having Toad looking like that. He's too comical looking there. There's a good one of Dalamar. I like Dalamar's character card on that. That was actually pretty cool. All right, let me stick these in the little... I got a little black velvet pouch that I stick them in. Keeps them together and keeps them nice and safe. Damn it. Well, my stupid ass can get them in there. Oh, shit. I couldn't damage them any more than I possibly could have damaged them when I was a kid. I got a dice, some dice that have come loose in here, been rattling around. Don't everybody? Let me stick these back in here where they're safe till we can reveal them. I'll actually go over some of these guys and read some of the stats out to you and show you how they work. How's that? We'll pull this sumbitch out. In some other streams, I will go ahead and set up some Dragonlance stuff for you. Fuck it. We'll fart around with it. It don't bother me a bit. All right. Take a look at this. Character record sheets. In damn good condition. Might I say so. This was published in 89. It was issued in 89. But it was republished. I guess this was issued about 94. It was reprinted about 94. Yeah. This is a character sheet. It was Steve Winter's old character sheet. It was some kind of character that he had. But you'll notice the name is from Steve Winter. So, Steve Winter mostly pioneered the AD&D second edition. He was the one who was responsible for second edition. It's when it was in its heyday, let's put it that way. So one most people are familiar with. I love it. I mean, it's immaculate. It's even with all its warts, it's still a hell of a lot of a clever fucking game. With all the supplements they did, they wouldn't have done as much as they did for it if it hadn't have worked. Okay, you see there? That's what original Advanced Dungeons and Dragons second edition character sheet looks like. Got one on the table there. It's in pretty damn good condition. I just keep my damn hands from sweating. Jesus, I hate it when my hands sweat. God, that irritates me. I could blow on my hands and... Got the Dragonlance map. Oh, let me show you this. I don't want to make a fucking mess of it, but I have a picture of Lorana in the frame. It was out of this box set, but I fucked up. And this is my map. Mine alone. I was fucking around with a calligraphy pen when I was about 14. And the cap got stuck. And it went all over my map. Did. All right. It's got ink stains. So you know what I did? I touched that sumbitch up. And it says Hasselhoff's Map of Solace with ink stains. How's that for some cool shit? Pretty damn cool, huh? It's all the Dragonlance maps in the box set. You got the Floating Tomb, the Pack Starcast. And see, this can be slid under my table. So I don't have to draw on it or even fucking print it out. All I got to do is just slide this baby right under the glass. You just slide that right under the glass. Just like, well, I'd have to lift the fucking glass up. Don't try to do that, dumbass. Boy, you can tell I'm high. All right. But anyway, you just slide it under the glass like that. And you be ready to rock and roll. There you go. Okay. Let me put this down here for the moment. Well, hold on to that for a moment. Yeah, screw it. We'll hold on to that. We'll hold on to that. Matter of fact, that can sit right there. That might be able to be put in the box. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll use that. I'll use that. Matter of fact, I can go in the box. If the thing was in the way, it's be a little heavy. I don't want to overload it, but fuck it. I already got a set of dice. I always keep one little set of dice in the bag in each little supplement, little box supplement I got. When I'm gone, they'll be able to find this shit for sure. This is going to a library. I'm not selling it. I'm not selling. It'll be my specific museum library. Okay, people will be able to come in and play D&D, but it'll be like a museum. That's what I want in my will. I want my Dungeons and Dragons stuff to be put for people to play, and I'm going to put it as a museum. So I'm going to try to figure out some way to do that. Don't got me on it. That's a pipe dream. Like I said, that would be the idea. I just want to live comfortably for the rest of my days, keep my eyesight, and be able to play my AD&D, guys. It's about all I can ask for. And maybe a blowjob every now and then. See, I done screwed up our PG-13 thing. Great. Well, okay, I'm a 40-year-old man, and this stream ain't necessarily for kids. All right. I don't know what time it is, but it's hell, we've been on an hour. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We got a whole bunch of I got a whole bunch of shit for you. You guys are gonna laugh more than you think. Because I don't know the next fucking word that's gonna come out of my mouth. But we're gonna have a damn good time, I'll tell you that. We're gonna have a damn good time. Y'all gonna have fun with Uncle Injun, I'll tell you that. Ain't no creep. All right. I ain't nobody's fucking uncle. I didn't have no kids. I got a niece, but it's my sister's kid. Yeah, that's what fucking be, dumbass. Oh, no, it's my sister's kid. Yeah? Who else would it be? These fucking days, it's hard to say. We won't get into that. All right. Put the lid on that for a minute. Move this over. Shit. All right. I think we had talked about new tales. I'll flip it open again just to remind you fuckers. All right. Tasselhoff's name in the AD&D box set, Tales of the Lance, and New Tales was listed as Kalen Tasselhoff Burfoot. Okay? Male Kinder. All right? Now, said that he was a member of the Stoke clan and said this is not by no means a common Kinder hairstyle. Okay. Let me tell you about my game. All right? When Taz was a little bitty Kinder, him and his dad in Northern Ergoth, before they set out to travel, they were standing out in the market square, and Taz is itty bitty. And at the time, Tasselhoff Kinder kids, when they're born, they have a thick, at least on Ansalon, the Island Kinder, no, but on Ansalon, the kids, the babies, they have a very thick mane of hair that grows quickly, okay, from the base of their scalp. And it's not like human kids. As a matter of fact, Kinder kids reach, by the time the kid's about 2 years of age in human years, that kid can already walk and talk. Okay, by the time they're 3, they're already walking and talking when a human kid's already jabbering. But anyways, when they're born, they have a very thick mane of hair. Now, Hilo Kinder usually cut their kids' hair, and they'll cut it in a shag cut. But Goodland Kinder, or maybe it's the Goodland Kinder, one of the two. But anyways, the Goodland Kinder have the top knots. When Taz was little, of course, he had the top knot mane, and one of the barbarians in Northern Ergoth saw him running around and looked at him and went, Tassel, ha, 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 ha. And see, the little kid, he didn't know what it meant, you know, and I guess he meant that it reminded him of a horse, but it could translate to horse's ass. But, the Kinder said, it didn't really matter to a Kinder, and he liked it. So, that's how Tasselhoff got his name. Yeah, that's the name he chose when he was out with his dad. He said, I don't like the name Kalen. I think it's stupid. So I said, well, you can be whatever you want to be. He goes, well, what do you want? And he said, well, Tasselhoff. Ha, 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 ha. That's it. He likes my ponytail. That's my name, Tasselhoff. Okay. Now, in gaming terms, that's how I would explain that. That's how Tasselhoff got his name. That's not official canon. Margaret and Tracy never come up with that. But that's how I often explained it in game terms, okay? In the game, that could be an explanation of how Tasselhoff got his name. Kalen was probably just a clan or a family name. But the little intricacies of Kinder. I've got a whole thing wrote up on Kinder morphology, the biology. Kinder can only mate with other Kinder, or root, as they call it. They can only root with other Kinder, okay? They can't mate with humans. They can't mate with elves or dwarves, okay? Reason being is because they were created by a Greystone. But they can mate with other Kinder. Depending on where they're born, most Kinder only have 2 kids. Most of the time, the second one isn't even born until the other one's already out of the home and off at Wanderlust. Just depends. Anyways, but New Tales is kind of divergent. It is somewhat of a weird critter in the Dragonlance. It does have an adventure in it called My Mother the Dragon. It's got Kinder in it. It's quite amusing. I'm going to play through that eventually. Here we go. This is the one everybody's got. This is the one I made my own binding for it with cardstock. As you can see, it's the Dragonlance Adventures. This is pretty much what all the Dragonlance people had. I never owned this book for about 25 years, and then I bought it on Drive-Thru-RPG and assembled it together. Okay, this is I printed it out with a front and back printer, and I put it together. Okay, this is my copy. Okay, pretty damn cool, and I'm right proud of it. Mama helped me bind it. She made a binder for it, gold on it, and it's held together pretty good. Yeah, made out of cardstock, front and back. But I printed that on PDF. It's got my damn name on it here somewhere when I printed it out. Yeah, Drive-Thru, when you buy those and go to print them out, it will actually give you a damn serial number on there to put on it. I guess, well, I don't think you can resell a PDF even if it's printed. So these are not for sale. These are archival copies. These are my copies. All right. Crin Space. Something else I made. It's got cardstock. Crin Space would make just an entirely new setting. I want to take, if it was an alternate timeline where Dragons of Summer Flame never happened, Tanis, Tasselhoff, Lorana, and Flint, if he comes back, would take a trip to Crin Space. Yeah, we take him to space. I'd take him to space. Something to think about. Who wants to take him to space? Maggie, you want to take him to space? Take him to space, Maggie. You do all that Firefly shit. Come on. No, she's retired. She does what the fuck she wants. She don't tell somebody like her what to do. I'm not kissing her ass. I don't know the woman. All right, Player's Guide to Dragonlance. And this damn thing doesn't have a single game stat in it, but it's still a good bedtime reading. One of my favorites. One of my favorites. And yes, it printed out quite well. Let me show you this. Let me see if I can get the notes here. Damn it. Look at there. I printed that out. The front and back printer. Let me find some of the. There we go. Looks pretty good, don't it? Not too bad for a printed PDF. Made into a book. Compared to what you'd had to pay to get this sumbitch on the internet to track it down. Now, some of the illustration, there it is. There she is. Okay. You see that Kinder maid sitting in the middle of that picture? That little blonde right there? Well, in one of my stories, that is Tasselhoff's cousin, Astrid Damaris. Damaris is actually her mother. Dame Damaris is her mother. But her name is Astrid Damaris. She talks with a Northern Rogothian accent, so it sounds German. She sounds like Zsa Zsa Gabor. Oh, it's great. I'm going to take her to Ravenloft, too. Her and Taz are going to end up in Ravenloft. That's his, well, it'd be his younger cousin. But, Look at that. There we go. Lorana on a silver dragon. Pretty damn sweet. All these maps. Really awesome. In all honesty, I would like to have the print for that one. There it is. See, I paid for this son of a bitch. It's got my serial number on the damn. Okay. I paid for that motherfucker. Ha 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 ha. Made a bound booklet out of it. That's dedication. That's a Dragonlance fan. Paid my money and made my own. See? I don't know if Margaret or Tracy got any money off that or not. Oh, they get residuals off of stuff, I guess, but who knows? It's none of my damn business, okay? I support them by keeping this shit alive, okay? I've bought the stuff. Let's put it this way. All my Dragonlance stuff and this shit, I didn't get this stuff secondhand. I bought all this shit at retail, at Walden Books, okay? I bought my shit at freaking retail. I'll tell you that right now. All my stuff, buddy, was bought at Walden Books. Just about. This stuff was bought at drive-thru. But I paid my money for that, boys. You better believe it. My allowance, buddy. Shit. I spent a lot of money. That's why it was I wasn't going to let go of it until I learned it. Because I put so much investment and time in it. You damn right, boys and girls. Book of Layers. This is another one that's a little bit divergent from the Dragonlance canon. This one says you can like take even Raceland in his black robes or red robes and use him on this adventure. You know, shit like that. Raceland in black robes will fuck you up. Okay. Raceland is one badass MFer. Hey, we'll talk about Raceland, okay? Raceland is not necessarily one of my favorite characters. Now, I'm going to tell you why, because of the history of when I was introduced to Dragonlance in the first place. Well, okay, as a matter of fact, we'll have a story time here. Let's go ahead and have a story time. You want to? We'll get this camera on me. All right. There you go. You got some Dragonlance pictures behind me there. We'll have a story time. All right. Shit. Let me think. Let me collect my thought here. Might have to get a whack of the silly salad. I don't think they'll ban you for smoking weed on there. Hell, the drunken peasants used to do it all the time. Of perfectly legal tobacco. Yeah, smoke you another one, dumbass. You can't even freaking talk straight. My mouth is getting a little parched. I'm going to have to get me some water, some tea. Hold on just a second. And while I do so, I'll collect my thoughts. Admire my pictures upon the wall. I got the Saga and Dragons of Flame. At least I'm not wearing a headset. Hell, when I play Twitch, got to take a drink of something. You can hear me gulp and shit. All right. Why don't I like Raceland? Well, my opinion of Raceland and Jer. Raceland's an asshole. Okay? He's a complete prick. Now, to his credit, old Raceland Magier is a badass son of a bitch. He hath no fear because he is the baddest motherfucker in the valley. Okay? If you put him, Soft, and Strahd in a room, one of them suckers is going to come out gummy. Okay? And it's a fair chance Raceland might come walking out. Okay? I would love to see Strahd, Raceland, and Soft go up against each other just to see who would actually freaking win and who would kick whose ass. I bet you anything Raceland would take Strahd out with the Staff of Magius. He'd burn him. Boom! Open a portal of the elemental plane of fire and just burn his ass up. Suck him right in. Of course, and then become the master of Scythicus or Barovia. What would an alternate realm of Barovia look like if Raceland ruled it? Think about it. If it became a domain of dread and Raceland became like Lord Soth, where he had been drawn into Ravenloft, what if Black Robe Raceland, okay, where he had been searching for Kitiara? In that module where when Black Roses bloom, yeah, they talk about that. We'll talk about that tonight. Okay. Why don't I like Raceland? Oh, God. I don't want to really piss on it because I know that's Margaret Weiss's character. That's her guy. That's her man. I won't piss on her man. Him and Dalamar both. Okay. I don't fuck with her man. Okay. This ain't being disrespectful to your man, Maggie. Okay. But I'm just saying, Raceland's an asshole. He treats his brother like shit. He treats Taz like shit. Taz, being a kindred, doesn't understand why his friend went to the Black Rose. Now, I can tell you that dichotomy right there, when I read that as a kid, that weighed heavily on a young adolescent mind, Maggie. It sure as hell did. And I'll tell you why. The man that introduced me to Dragonlance was an autistic man by the name of Henry Nash. Okay. He used to walk up and down the subdivision where I lived with a boombox with playing Meatloaf Bad Out of Hell on it. Well, Henry let me borrow some Dragonlance comic books, and that's how I discovered Dragonlance and the video game and all that. But Henry later turned religious. He became a born-again Christian. As a show to his parents, he he had to make sure he was good on it, and so he didn't want anything to do with that Dungeons & Dragons. It was devil. Well, I kind of irritated him, me being a kid. You got to understand that Henry was about, I guess, maybe 25. He was an autistic man. Okay, he was already out of school, but he didn't like that young and bothering about that Dragonlance. And one day he got pissed off at me. And see, Raceland was his character. He had always liked Raceland because he'd had and he talked like, and Henry had that raspy voice, so he could talk like Raceland. That was his character. And so that's who I thought of as him. And he often did the mannerisms of Raceland. Only problem was Henry pulled a fucking butterfly knife on me because in his quote, hey, I'm born again Christian. Now, you can think as a 14-year-old fucking kid when I'm reading these Dragonlance books, you know, trying to get an AD&D game started and all that shit. And I obsessed about it for a year, I guess, about 6th, 7th grade, buddy. I was obsessed with getting an AD&D game going. Didn't get it because I didn't have all the materials assembled and there wasn't nobody to play with and I didn't know the procedure. You know, there was all these little factors and shit, but I had the books and shit and I consumed that shit. I ate it up. It was a lot of the early 90s era Dragonlance material. So you can imagine, you know, the kid's 14-year-old kid, brain going wild. Well, anyways, it had a very vast contrast, especially when I read Legends. I didn't like Raceland. He was a son of a bitch. Boy, he treated Chrysania like shit. He treated Caramon like shit. He killed Nimsh. He treated Taz like complete shit. He didn't even acknowledge Taz as even being there. He just thought of him as a kinder. That was it. Only person he really cared about was Buppu. That was it. The Gully Dwarf. If that. Thankfully, he had a moment of grace there, but anybody else, you know, he was just shit. He did the Anakin Skywalker shit long before Lucas ever conceived of that part of Vader on screen. Shit. Raceland is the original OG, okay? You ain't gonna fuck with Raceland, okay? Raceland Majir was one badass son of a bitch. You should see his black robe stats versus his normal stats when he's a red robe, okay? He doesn't have the cough when he's a black robe because that was his, you know, it strengthened him. The Queen of Darkness, Takesis, she strengthened him, gave him powers. You know, gradually his cough disappears. He's a lot stronger, but he's a fuck ton more evil. Red robe, he's evil, okay? At least in the game. He incinerated an entire village, okay? He got pissed off, Raceland did. And he torched an entire village. It was during the Cataclysm. It was like a plague, but he'd gone back in time. I don't know about the specifics of it. I mean, I had read Legends about 25 years ago. Time travel stories to a point tend to get out of hand. It can get away from you. But with a time travel story, you can always do something slightly divergent in an alternate universe. I mean, that's kind of funny that Tasselhoff would go forward in time so he could be at Caravan's funeral to make a eulogy. That's pretty damn funny. Where he travels forward into a future or something. Yeah, maybe he pops up into an alternate 1876, pops up in a Renaissance where everything's in steamships and trains. Everybody's wearing Renaissance clothing. Palace looks like Victorian London. Dragonlance, Elseworlds. Think on it. Oh, man, we're talking about all kinds of shit on Twitter. I pitched an idea last night about Ravenloft, thinking about it being caught in a snow. He wanted to do something with the Snow Queen and the Dark Chronicles of Narnia. And I said, how about this ice and snow that blankets all the realms of dread and freezes everything, causes everything to freeze. Strahd even knows it because it's killing everybody off. And the element into the game is that they have to keep from freezing to death because only thing that can keep them warm is magical fire. Yeah. Read it on Twitter. Check my Twitter out. I got all kinds of shit going on now. Okay. Let's see here. What are we going to do here? What we got? I've gone through most of my books. But, anyways, yeah. Raceland and me was never on good footing, right? But, I will say, Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, they wrote some terrific books. They sure as fuck did. Okay. Barry Kirchhoff, Steve Winter, all those people. The people that wrote the preludes. That second edition Dragonlance stuff, it was some of the best. Those novels are what kept the lights on. You know, Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman were so damn good that they got on the New York Times bestseller list for a fantasy novel. Okay? You didn't do that back in those days. And in those days, you didn't have the fucking internet. They sold those novels off of a damn game. Okay? And even after they left, after Legends was published and they eventually left TSR, those fucking books and all that shit that they sold, it kept the lights on for TSR, okay? Margaret Weiss had said the same thing. They didn't care. They weren't responsible about what TSR squandered the money, okay? The Blooms did shit like buy needleport companies and all kinds of dumb shit that they really shouldn't have done. Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman wrote their books. They got to tell their stories. That's what she said. As long as we get the goose that kept laying the golden eggs, we got to tell our stories, and that's all that mattered, okay? So anybody says this shit, well, they didn't work out. Yes, they worked on it, okay? Dragonlance was a team. There were many people who worked on Dragonlance. Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman worked on the Dragonlance novels. The gaming materials were worked on by other people. It's still Dragonlance, okay? If you like Dragonlance, you like novels, you like the games, you like Dragonlance, okay? It's great. Adam will tell you the same damn thing, guys. You got thousands of Dragonlance fans all over the world. Make your content. Put it out there. Let it be heard, okay? I don't give a flying fuck what or who owns the IP right now, okay? I bought all my crap 30 years ago. I still got my books. I still got my imagination up here. And we got a network, guys. People make their own action figures. People do it themselves. They make their own action figures. They make their own books. They make their own video games. They fuck when they want to fuck. Welcome to the new revolution, y'all. You entertain yourself. And maybe that was good. Whatever. Okay? I don't make a dime off this channel. Never did. Okay? I don't seek to make a dime off this IP. But what I do seek to do is to spread the gospel of the Dragonlance. Make it better. I want to make content. I want to play it. I want to read it. I want to talk about it. Okay? You understand that? Look in my fucking dead eye and tell me if I give a shit about the Spark Patrols or WotC or the fucking pandering or the accusations of You're racist. You all are grognards. You assholes are just able as they don't. Look, it's just a game. You're an adult. It's a fantasy world. Play what you want to play. Buy what you want to buy. Okay? You're a rational adult. Nobody needs to spoon feed this shit to you. Santa Claus does not live at the North Pole. Okay? Unless you're playing it in a video game. Okay? All right, guys, we've been on in about an hour and 15 minutes on the count. We'll take a little bit of a break for just a second. I don't have a thing here. I'm just going to set this down for just a moment. We'll take a respite. I'm going to get me something to drink real quick. We're just going to hang for just a second. When I come back, I'm going to pick up some dice, and we're going to pick up the AD&D Player's Handbook and the Monsters Compendium and the Dungeon Master's Guide, and I'm going to talk some shit about AD&D. We're going to have a good old time tonight. Stay tuned, folks. Wait a minute, I'm here. I'm going to have to turn. It's Captain Kangaroo when he went off the air about 30 years ago. They didn't know they was off the air, and they left the audio on. And he supposedly told Mr. Green Jig, said, well, that ought to hold the little bastards till next week. Oh. Woo! Okay. Yeah. Oh. I was a little parched. I had to have a little bit of water. I can show you my Dragonlance book collection on my bookshelf, but I don't want to grab the camera and pull it over there and have to set it back up. Oh, boy. Well, let me just take a little bit of respite here. I'm a little high. And plus my cataract's bothering. My eyes are having to focus. My orbs are all blurry. Here in a little bit, I'm going to log off and rest my eyes. But you're getting some entertainment, I hope. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments to the video. I don't have any live chat on right now. Sometimes I'll have a Discord on. Sometimes I'll answer something on a phone. But I don't really have any live chat. They won't let me do live chat if they said if it's not for kids and if I curse. So I'm not fucking worried about it. Like I said, I'll watch a rerun, I edit, whatever. Doesn't really matter, seriously. I talk to myself half the time anyway. So there you go. I'll consider it a video journal. I don't give a shit, whatever. I'll talk about what I want to talk about. I've got no place to be. I'm not monetized. And I'm hanging out and having fun. As far as I'm concerned, you know, hey, I'm having a good time. I'm glad to be alive. I got out of the shower, though, today, and my cataract was messing with me. Everything was all blurry. I panicked. I got to get this cataract fixed. That steroid, buddy, has screwed my eyes up. I'm walking now, but, man, my eyesight has definitely suffered. It has definitely suffered. Okay. I must be taking them sips of water quite frequently. If I don't, I'll get the hiccups. And I got to stay hydrated. Drink water. All right. If I go to feeling weird or yucky, I'll just sign off and quit the stream. You know, I'm fine. Okay, guys. We're not going to go through character creation tonight. Okay. We'll do that one night. But I'll explain some of the basics to you. Ain't no problem with that. All right. Let's start with the AD&D 2nd edition Player's Handbook. Okay. My favorite picture. Dragon Slayers and proud of it. The elf was often called Fiera. Okay. There is a description in this book about a elf being knocked overboard during a storm. And so a lot of times they would call her Fiera. In the Dungeons and Dragons Tower of Doom Capcom arcade game, if you leave the name blank and you hit select on it, hit OK, sometimes it will print it as either Lucia or Fiera on the Capcom thing, or it did. It was the damnest thing I ever saw. But yeah, that was pretty funny. I can't stream Tower of Doom. Twitch won't let me do it. The only way that I could really do it is if I turn my Xbox on, point that camera at the TV, and then sit there. And I don't want to do that. That's so damn tacky. I don't know. I guess I could. I could play a stage of it, set the thing up against the TV, and just record the damn screen. Be like playing it on to an arcade. All right, let's see here. See, the thing about this damn thing is, though, all the terms and what you needed was so spread out over 5 different fucking chapters. There's one table that's on page 75 you need for the armor that's in the middle of the combat chapter. It's the damnest thing. Okay, ability check. A 1d20 roll against one of your character's ability scores. Modifiers may be added to or subtracted from the die roll. A result that was equal to or less than your character's ability score indicates that attempted action succeeds. Okay? All right. So who do we want to start out with a stat tonight to talk about this? Okay? Let's talk about stats. Okay? Abilities. What do we got here? Yeah, here it is. All right. I'll turn the camera around toward the table here in just a second. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll start with Taz. Let me see if I can find Raceland stats. I'm going to find his Road stats. I could do the one for the character card on the module, or I'm going to do the one for the second edition. I'm going to do the one for the second edition. Reason being is there's a couple of special stats that are added to these modifiers that I can explain with the weapon modifiers and shit. Tasselhoff's Thaco is normally 19, but where he has a specialization in the Hoopak, he gets a +1 to his attack rolls. And I think it modifies his Thaco, his weapon proficiency, because he's proficient in the Hoopak. It modifies his Thaco to 17. Okay, that's why his Thaco is 17 with his weapon, if it's throwing stuff. Okay, here we go. We got Raceland. We got Karaman and Stum. Okay. Yeah, here we go. We got Karaman. All right, we're going to start with these guys. All right, we got a big 3. All right. Most of the series has revolved around Taz, Raceland, and Karaman. Okay. That's to me the Dragonlance. Tannis to an extent, but if anybody really wants to know, everybody liked Taz, Raceland, and Karaman. Okay. They were the most appealing of all the characters. If you ask most of the Dragonlance fans, they always say it's Raceland and Karaman, the brothers Majir. Okay. And guess who came up with that? Margaret Weiss. Okay. She did. Raceland is her dude. That's her boyfriend. Okay. You can't talk shit about Raceland. That's her boyfriend. I don't friggin' know. That's her character. Let's put it that way. No, she did not initially come up with Raceland at the gaming table. It was Terry Phillips. I think it was Terry Phillips who originally played him with the whispering. Margaret was told to take those characters and write a book. Okay, she had notes and what they said and shit like that, and she wrote a book. She edited it. Tracy came up with it and helped her with it too for an outline, and they wrote a fucking book. Margaret was the writer in the days when they used typewriters and word processors. I'd like to know what her rig was back in the day. Her writing rig, or what she wrote on. I wonder if she used a Brother word processor or something like that with the darn glowing yellow screen and all that shit. I had one in '94 that played Tetris. But that damn thing, it had the screen on it and all. Oh, God, I missed that thing. It was so cool. It was a Brother word processor. Had ink ribbons and shit that you had to buy for it. It was so damn cool. It was so cool. I miss that. I really do. Okay. All right. Let's set this here. Oh, shit. I'm trying. Okay. You got your big three. Okay. Do. Okay. I think if I can get this fucking camera, I can grab the camera. It's fine. Piss on it. We're going to take this camera down and we're going to put it where we can see the shit. Okay. I can hold it to the screen and I can point. I'm pretty damn sure. That's all I got to do. See there? Okay. All right. Take a look here. Now, I hope these ain't mirrored on the screen. If they are, that I'm fucked. Okay. But yesterday they weren't when I reviewed them. They're mirrored on my screen that I'm looking, but yours it shouldn't be. Okay. All right. Take a look at here. Cameron has an 1863 strength. Cameron in the AD&D world is pretty much built like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay. He's very strong. He has a 63% chance to perform a feat of strength. Okay. Characters that are exceptionally strong can do that. What that means is he can bust a door down. He can maybe lift a beam off of somebody's head. He might be able to bash two draconians together. Yeah, that kind of shit. It's a percentage thing. So say he had to take out two draconians, you know, he snuck up behind them to perform a kill shot, you know, he would make an attack roll and then do a roll of percentage of the dice and see if he got a 63%. I think percentile, you're supposed to roll better or above. Let me check here in a minute. We're going to go back to this and see. Okay. You got your ability check. Percentile dice, your attack roll. Say this is what I'm talking about. This damn thing. This was always a pain in the ass. Proficiency check. All right. The proficiency check most of the time, the roll of a 20-sided die to see if a character succeeds in doing a task by comparing the die roll to the character's relevant ability score, plus or minus any modifier shown in table 37. Die roll must equal to or less than the ability score for the action to succeed. So it's the same thing as an ability check, okay? All right, now, let me, like I said from the last night's example, when we were set up here, let's go ahead and get our camera Snuggie and Snooze back on our table here, okay? Let's get it pointed back at our table here. We'll get our Snuggie and Snooze. Okay. I think we'll be okay. Let me get my, let's make sure it don't trip on the cord here. All right. Are we good? We got it. I think we got it. Let me, well, I probably need to adjust the camera a little bit, but oh well. Fuck it. We'll roll with this, I think. I think this will work. I'm trying to see what I got here. Okay, guys. All right. Let's talk about ability scores. Okay. Got Raceland here. Take a good look. All right. Strength-wise, he's not strong. As a matter of fact, Taz at strength of 13 is actually stronger than Raceland is. Okay. Taz could probably walk up behind Raceland and kick him in the back of the shin and take him down. Of course, Raceland would kick his ass. He would burn the shit out of him, turn him into a cricket. He'd do something. Oh, no, he would cast a spell on Taz to make his mouth, everything in his mouth taste like a butthole. That's what he'd do. You have to do something to annoy a Kinder. There's something you'd cast on a Kinder. I don't know. The disappearing penny, maybe. All right. Let's see here. His dexterity is 16. Now, he has the same dexterity as Taz. Accentuated with a cough. Ha ha ha. He don't have the same strength as Taz, but he's still fast as Taz. He is got a higher wisdom than Taz. He's 14 in wisdom. Taz has a higher charisma at 11. Constitution He has a constitution of 10. It kind of sucks. But his intelligence is 17. Taz's intelligence is only 9. Caraman's intelligence is only 12. Okay. So maybe Caraman is maybe 2 points smarter than Taz. And that's saying something, okay? You know, Taz the kinder. He's like a kid. But anyway, let's see here. Raceland wants to pull off his coin trick. What does he do? He pulls out a D20. Okay. And he makes the dexterity check. Most of the time, if he's proficient in it, the DM, this thing says it gives a +2 to dex-based saving throws. He could have a +2 to his roll. Okay, so he would add a +2 to whatever it was, and that would be, it'd be a +2 or -2. So say if he was rolling an ability check, you would take -2 off that roll. Okay, for things like where he is proficient in doing the little coin trick. Okay, so he makes a dexterity roll, right? Well, shit, you can't even see it. What the fuck did I do? Oh! Oh! I'm going to leave it where it lays. Now, you saw me not touch the die. I don't have a die in my hand. Look what I did. That son of a bitch made a natural 20. Holy shit. It rolled on a natural 20. Now, a natural 20 in the AD&D game is very good. A natural 1 is an oh shit moment. Something bad happens. It doesn't matter what the hell it is. If you roll a natural 1 on anything, you fail, okay? But a natural 20 is always a success. In some cases, it can be a critical hit, or it just means that whatever you were trying to accomplish, you did it. In the case of anything that Raceland was trying to do with the dexterity, he did it, okay? If he gets a natural 20 on anything, Raceland smiles, winks, does his little smirk, and he struts his little ass back, sits down at the table, and starts sipping his drink. Okay? He don't have to do nothing. See? Raceland proved it. He rolled natural fucking 20. I'm Raceland fucking Majir. Don't touch me, motherfucker. I'm Magi. Excuse my language. Excuse my language, Maggie. I didn't mean to say that. But touch him not. He's Maggie. Magi. Magi. That's it. Raceland don't take no shit, boys. You have to see my Heroes of the Lance DOS stream. It's my tutorial. I did. I streamed it for about 30 minutes. It shows how to play through the first parts of the DOS thing of Heroes of the Lance. Okay, it's the DOS game. I've been playing it for years. It is my favorite one. And yes, they just recently released that on GOG. Okay, they've got, it's the Silver Box collection, the Dragonlance Silver Box collection. They got that. They got Pirates of Realm Space. They released that. They released the two Strahd games, the Bravenloft games. They've been out for a while, but they're all on GOG. I think they're like $8.99 for the collection, so you can get like 2 of them for like $14. I'm gonna get it later. I've already had it for years. I've owned it for years. But yeah, those are pretty cool. What else can I demonstrate? Well, hell, Raceland rolled a natural 20. Shit. What else is there to say, you know? You get a natural 20 on anything. Now, if you get a natural 1, that's an oh shit moment. So if, say, Taz is making an attack and he rolls a natural 1, he slips and falls on his ass, gets stuck in the mud, loses his hoopak. Tanis, if he was fired at something, his bowstring snaps. Caraman gets his arm stuck in a door, something like that. You know, anything could happen. Maybe a bee stings Taz on the ass or something. It could be anything funny as a 1. And you can make it as disastrous as you want. You know, hey, if something good happens as a 20 in the game, naturally something bad would happen at a 1. Okay. A roll still a 1 still needs, but even if it pushes something below 1 and there's a modifier, if it's a natural 1, you screw it up. Okay. Modifiers, I guess, can push the roll differently if it's set up that way. But most of the time, DMs avoid shit like that if they're smart. I'm not much for crunch. Like I said, I'm 3.5. That's a little bit too much crunch for me. It is kind of hard. It's okay. It doesn't really matter what D&D that you prefer to play, guys. It really doesn't. You don't have to be at each other's throats. One is not necessarily better than the other. I will say, though, that old school D&D is and always will be, okay? Whatever it may be. I don't call it OSR. OSR is just what they call it so wizards wouldn't sue them. But hey, people still produce content. They still produce content for first edition, second edition, 3.5. Somebody probably does 4. And yes, there are people who play 5. That doesn't make it wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. Just because we make fun of something, mockery is not hate. Okay? I believe the same thing. You can mock somebody and be fairly good natured and not try to kill somebody's career. You can rib somebody. I don't care. You can make fun of me. You can make fun of my missing teeth. You make fun of my one eye. I don't give a flying fuck. I'm 40 fucking years old. When I discovered Dragonlance in the 6th grade, them fucking kids used to pick on me so fucking bad for that shit. The first fight I ever got into, real scrapping fight, I was reading a fucking Dragonlance book. I was reading Dragons of Winter Night. I got hit in the face with a fucking basketball. There's blood still in the book. Well, I got in the fight or whatever, and the book got kicked under the bleachers. After the fight, I went back and got my fucking book the next day. Or maybe it's a couple hours. I went to the empty gym, whatever. I crawled back under the bleachers and got my fucking book. So, yeah. I bled for Dragonlance. I'll tell you that right freaking now. You take a look at this eye. You know, I'm kind of a combination of Raceland and Hasselhoff. You know, I entered the world as Taz, but the world in itself, you know, this is the price I paid for understanding, I guess. So I kind of ended up like Raceland. I don't want to end up as bitter as Raceland. I don't want to destroy the world. I don't want to betray the people that love me, you know, if they do, or the people that care about me. If it teaches you anything in Dragonlance, it teaches you to take care of those that take care of you, even when sometimes they treat you like shit. You bear it, but on the same note, you don't let somebody use you as an emotional tampon. It's a time for action. I don't know. I mean, people find their own hidden strengths and weaknesses in Dragonlance. It all depends. Some people get a different perspective from it. And it depends on what stories that you read, too. Whether you're reading the Dragonlance comic books, whether you're reading the Fifth Age, whether you're reading the original Chronicles. I'll say that in some people never got through the Chronicles. They find it hard to read. I myself, when I went back and read it, it surprised me. I was like, man, I must have skimmed and scanned this because as a kid, I had, you know, I've got ADHD. So me reading the comic books and the gaming supplements and stuff, I filled in the blanks and then pretty much from there. But do you really sit down and read Chronicles and Legends as a Dragonlance fan? Okay. Some people don't. So with that said, it's all in your perspective of what you're introduced to concerning Dragonlance. Margaret Weiss has said it herself. It doesn't necessarily make it wrong. It just makes it different. Okay. It doesn't matter who wrote who. Who gives a shit who wrote who or who wrote when back when? Before the internet, you didn't know this stuff. You didn't know the inside beans. Your bands and your authors had a little bit of mystery to them. Tracy Hickman was thought to have been a woman. They thought that Tracy and Laura Hickman were two sisters who wrote fantasy. And so TSR got letters, you know, guys that were proclaiming, asking for marriage. And then, of course, on top of that, Tracy Hickman also got the letters from all the religious fundies. And, you know, he was a Mormon, so they sent all the shit to him. So he'd get all the fucked up satanic panic shit from in TSR's editorial department. They would send it to him. Him and Harold Johnson, I think. Ask Maggie about it. I don't know. I'm telling you what I've read and most of what I've been told. If it comes from the internet, it must be true. Now, if anything, I always get at least 3 sources and take everything with a grain of salt. And in some cases, It might just not be none of my fucking business. That's all I can say. You know, if nothing else, make it up. You know, that's what they seem to do these days. I try to provide accurate, reliable information. I don't bullshit people, and I don't deal in fuckery or slander. I might joke with somebody. I might make a jest. I might make, some kind of damn pander at somebody, but nothing that would hurt somebody. Let's put it that way. I don't deny somebody the right to exist. I don't do political shit. I don't do kill stream bullshit. So there you go. All right, enough of that bullshit. You didn't want to hear me preach, do you? All right, guys. We've been on here a while, about an hour and 40 minutes. I think that's a good time for a stream. Hour and 40 minutes. That's about as much as you can possibly tolerate of my dumb ass for a night. We're going to get back on and do some more in the morning, okay? We'll try to. I got a camera. I can set it up. Hell, it don't take nothing. I can set this damn thing up, and we can play D&D. Look at that. We play all day long. Sing the song. Look at Tasselhoff, do a little dance. He's a bover through. He's a hero of the Lance. All right, guys, be good. All you Dragonlance fans, make your content, all right? I want to say thanks to all the Dragonlance community, all right? All of you, every single one of you. Margaret Weiss, Tracy Hickman, everybody that ever bought a damn book at a Goodwill, everybody that ever bought a book at retail, everybody that ever read a friggin' Dragonlance book or looked at a painting or played a game, okay? By all means, make your content, all right? You got 30 years worth of material. This is worth it, okay? Every bit of it's worth it. There's a lot of heart and soul that went in to Dragonlance. I can tell you that right now, all right? There's a lot of writers. There's a lot of people. You know, these books, they mean a lot to a lot of people. That's a lot of history right there, man. Those books come out when I was a baby. I'm 40 years old now, man. I started reading these when I was 12 years old, okay? TSR sold to Wizards over 25 years ago, okay? They sold in what, 1999, right? This was published in 87. My dad got hurt on the railroad in 87, but I was just a baby then. Well, 87, I was starting school. I was just starting kindergarten when this thing was published. But, man, I'll tell you what, for the love of Dragonlance, y'all, I don't care what they do to it, whether it be the movie, whatever, this stuff is here. We got our books. We got our imaginations. We got 30 years, okay? People for 30 years, longer than most of these people have been alive, okay? 30 years of content. It's not going to go away, guys, okay? Long live the Dragonlance, y'all. Look at that. It's all so immaculate and pristine. It really, really is. Here you go, guys. Well, before we go out, we'll roll it out. This is the original TSR. AD&D2e, forever we will be, y'all. This is the original TSR dice bag. And those dice. Look at them dice. Look at them dice. Look at them nice, big, shiny, orange dice. Ooh, it looks so pristine. Don't you know what I mean? Gonna kick the ass of the Dark Queen. Gonna go play me some Dragonlance. Alright, you fuckers. Excuse my language, I'm sorry. I apologize. Y'all be good. This is Injun Joe. Alright? Alright, roll on. We'll see you later. Be good. That's a wrap, y'all. Yeah.